I think to many, my life could be considered a collection of failures or mistakes repeated over and over and over and over. From personal relationships to school, or even how I treated myself. School was important to me when I was young. I got great marks, despite my bad penmanship. I was a happy-go-lucky kid. I loved to sing, loved to dress up and act like my favorite superheroes. I guess I was a character in all senses of the word. I'd start the year off on the right foot, but within a couple of months, I'd lose all motivation, start skipping again. I'd straight up give up and give in to ADHD or laziness, or maybe it was just I didn't enjoy what I was doing and I couldn't find anything that made me feel like I belonged. And then this thing came along called metal, and I finally found something that was important to me. My friend Brad Small showed me bands like Adelaide Dying, Bleeding Through, Atreyu, Alexis on Fire, and I was absolutely obsessed. But my first metalcore show was at a little venue called Latcham Hall, and this was the place for shows in my area. Shows were bigger than just the music. There was this one band, though, that really caught my eye. They were called the Memphis West, and they had one of the best vocalists around, too, at the time in my area. I was legit mesmerized by their set, and I immediately knew I wanted to be part of this scene, and I wanted to be a frontman too. So when the singer left my very first band, I honestly just jumped right into it. The band ended up becoming centuries apart. Ironically, we lasted much less than a century, about a year or so, I think, as a full band. Ultimately, we scrapped that idea and we started a project that ended up being called The Afterimage. It's very difficult seeing something that you built from the ground up fail and fall short. And I think it's even harder to say goodbye. We devoted our blood, sweat, and tears to previous bands, but I think ending them was one of the best decisions that we ever made. It allowed us to shed the weight of expectation, and in doing so, we learned to actually have fun again and enjoy making the music we make. And having fun means doing what we want to do. A song with nearly a 40-second intro shouldn't be successful in the age of get to the chorus. But we didn't write Eclipse or any of the songs that we wrote with that in mind.
I know it's hard to innovate nowadays. A blast beat's always going to be a blast beat. A breakdown's always going to be a breakdown. But the guys in Brand of Sacrifice are actually crafting a sound of their own and bringing something new to the table.
Hell, a choir breakdown, that really shouldn't work, but it has, and it's resonated with fans and peers and even bands that we grew up on.
The older stuff is badass. The new stuff is next level. And what really excites me about it is when I listen to it, I hear a lot of the original core tenets of deathcore that we all know and love. But then I'm hearing so many new elements, so many other genres brought into it.
It's been so awesome to watch the rollout of this album. I feel like seeing the hype being built up makes me feel like I'm part of something larger than life again. And I think it not only comes from the rollout of this album, but just also from the music itself.
Maybe you'll see Carnifex and Brand of Sacrifice on the road, huh? I think it's gonna be a good year for deathcore, and you know what? Brand of Sacrifice is kicking it off.
Watching a band continue to push the level of greatness that is happening in this genre, and as someone who grew up listening to obviously a lot of deathcore, especially in the MySpace days, it makes me so happy that all these years later, there are bands still continuing to thrive and give this amazing moment of this music. And I feel like it just shows that appreciation, because not only are Brand of Sacrifice bringing something really big to the table with Lifeblood, and that's a lot coming from Godhand, which was an amazing album, they are going to also be in the lead of inspiring more bands to continue to bring life and meaning into this genre. And it's just amazing to see